Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me. My name is Anil Kamal, and today I will be presenting my communication campaign for the World Wrestling Entertainment. The World Wrestling Entertainment, or WWE for short, is a professional wrestling company that has performed worldwide for over 70 years. As an entertainment company, the WWE produces weekly content for 52 weeks, which is distributed to 180 companies in 28 different languages. WWE's main product is their weekly television shows such as Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown. Now, as a brief history of the WWE, the company was founded in 1953 by Vincent J. McMahon, called the Capital Wrestling Corporation. 30 years later, Vincent J. McMahon's son, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, would purchase the wrestling company, changing its name to the World Wrestling Federation. Vince McMahon would be able to change the company and take it to new heights that it's never seen before, turning it into a nationally touring show and creating its biggest show, WrestleMania, that still continues on till this day. While the WWE found great success, in 2002, the company would change its name to the World Wrestling Entertainment after a lawsuit from the World Wildlife Fund. Even with the name change, WWE would still continue to achieve success. In 2022, Vince McMahon would step down as the chairman, handing over his company to his daughter, Stephanie McMahon. From a company overview, the WWE's mission is to enable people and communities around the world to affect change and impact through storytelling and access to resources. Storytelling is a significant part of the WWE product, in which they aim to help create stories that will resonate and connect with their audience. As for WWE's company culture, it is a company that facilitates a family-oriented and diverse work environment. In addition, the WWE is about being team-oriented. No one is larger than a company or anyone else, and everyone in the company, from the superstars to management to everybody from catering, plays an important and essential role in helping bring the excellent product to its fans. From a financial perspective, the WWE is a market leader with a market cap of $5.92 billion. It is valued more than companies such as Valvoline, the New York Times, and Gap. Economically, WWE is an excellent source of revenue for the company and the hosting city for its live events. In 2021, the WWE made $1.095 billion in revenue. This year, at its biggest show, WrestleMania, which has turned from a one-night to two-night event, generated $206.5 million in revenue for the Dallas area. It is near that range compared to the NFL's Super Bowl, which brings in 300 to 500 million. Lastly, for political affiliations, WWE has no affiliation with any political party. Now let's take a look at WWE's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Beginning with the strengths, WWE is the market leader in the professional wrestling industry. While there are other wrestling companies such as All Elite Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, and New Japan Pro Wrestling, WWE is recognized as the leader in the industry. WWE also has a steady growth in income and revenue, which can be constantly seen since the beginning of 2012. The company also has a strong, dedicated fan base, which can be proven by weekly sold-out shows and a large social media following. Other strengths include adapting to new technologies, an extensive customer database, and involvement in corporate social responsibilities. However, with strengths comes a few weaknesses. One weakness is that WWE has is its inability to create new characters promptly. What this means is that while the fan base changes and current roster ages, WWE fails to make new superstars, resulting in the reliance on their aging part-time talent. Another weakness is its inability to gain new fans. While the WWE has a dedicated fan base, it is vital to help bring in new fans to help grow the brand and generate more revenue. Other weaknesses include intense competition from AEW and the NFL and battling streaming services such as Netflix and Disney. While the WWE has some weaknesses, opportunities are available to improve the brand. The first is to grow loyalty with its female and older audiences. Since the beginning, the professional wrestling industry has been viewed as a male-dominated industry. However, with society changing with more diverse audiences, we must reflect this in our audience by welcoming more female fans to our product. In addition, it is important to reward our past fans as they are vital in helping build brand loyalty. Second, we can look to improve the overall fan experience. Having attended many W Live events in person, I find it to be a fantastic experience. However, there are always ways to improve the experience to make it more appealing for current and prospective fans. A third opportunity is to increase our digital media content. With less print material and later generations more devoted to digital media, we need to continue to innovate with our content through a digital approach. Other opportunities include hiring new creative staff members, creating a loyalty program, and innovating technology. With the optimism of opportunity, some threats can put us in a headlock. One threat is the constant changing customer trends and demands. W fans are always craving something new, which can create unpredictability. For example, W fans might latch onto one superstar for a few weeks and then turn on them instantly. Another threat is losing long-term valuable fans. Losing long-term fans hurts our company as it shows a sign of disinterest in our product, which we want to avoid. Other threats include an unstable economy and laws and regulations in the entertainment industry. Going back to his mission, the WWE has always been a company that prides itself in being able to reflect societal changes in its product. Many of the company's top superstars are based on the times that they wrestle. Starting in the 1980s, Hulk Hogan was the definition of a real American, with the say your prayer, eat your vitamins mantra in a decade that was high on patriotism. Then in the 1990s, Stone Cold Steve Austin was a man who represented the blue-collar worker, standing up to the corporations. The Rock was alongside him to represent a generation of electrifying superstars heading into the next millennium. In the 2000s, John Cena was a persevering superstar. His hustle, loyalty, and respect and never give up motto represented a generation that had to overcome a decade of tragedy and uncertainty. Last into 2010s, we have Roman Reigns, who was a polarizing superstar to fans. You either loved him or hate him. There was no in between, but seemed to reflect a decade of controversy and at times separations of society. Now in 2022, the question waiting to be answered is who will be the next superstar to represent the new decade, leading to my communication campaign plan. However, before I reveal my communication campaign, I would like to tell a story of what led to my campaign inspiration. In October of 2018, WWE held its first ever all-female pay-per-view, WWE Evolution. It was a pay-per-view event that celebrated the WWE's Women's Revolution, a period in which an increased focus was on women's wrestling. Being attended for that show, I felt emotional seeing celebrations of women superstars from the past, present, and future. In most shows that I've attended before, the audience were full of males. However, that night it was incredible to see the arena filled with girls and women of different ages who were wrestling fans. It was a touching moment to see parents bring their little daughters to the show, dressed as their favorite superstars and cheering them on. It was a reminder of how important representation is, especially with the WWE audience. As I mentioned earlier, the professional wrestling industry has always been a male-dominated industry. However, with society changing, it is vital to reflect it in our product. In this case, diversifying our audience with more female fans and regaining older ones. So how do we do this? First, we have our 4 goals that will be the foundation of our campaign. The first is to grow our female audience. Again, wrestling has always been viewed as a male-dominated industry. However, with the increase in female superstars, we believe it will help draw more female viewers and diversify our audience. The next goal is to maintain our long-term fan base. It is important to keep our long-term fan base to show appreciation for the loyalty. Our third goal is to increase television viewership. With television programming being a source of income for WWE through advertisement, we must maintain and grow our viewership even during a declining period of television. Lastly, we want to increase our merchandise revenue. Increasing our merchandise revenue is beneficial for both the company and the talent, since the talents receive a percentage of the sale revenue. For our objectives, it includes growing the number of female followers on social media by 5% in 6 months, averaging 2.5 million television viewers, increasing the number of leads to WWE Shop by 10%, growing our older demographics by 10% with retro programming, and increasing ticket sales by 15%. To help with our goals, we will use the following strategy. The first is to focus on the influence and inspiration of WWE female superstars. Over the last few years, WWE has been able to create inspirational female characters with which many of our audiences members can connect and show them in an authentic perspective. Another strategy is to focus on the positive fan reaction. Showing the excellent reaction and exciting reaction that our fans have when watching our product can help encourage others to watch as well. A third strategy is to form partnerships with influencers and celebrities. Creating collaboration with a star who aligns with our brand can help it make it easier for us to reach our target audience. A fourth strategy is to make content for original retro wrestling. Creating content featuring retro wrestling can attract former fans who are familiar with the product and the content. Lastly, focusing on the fan experience at live events allows us to show genuine emotion that an individual can have while witnessing our product in person. We will execute the following tactics to achieve our goals and further our strategy. The first is user-generated content. With fans, especially fan participation, being a considerable part of our product, displaying user-generated content is key as it will allow them to feel like they are part of the brand and contributing to it. The second tactic is partnerships. Forming a partnership with a celebrity like Cardi B or Vanessa Hudgens is a huge plus for our brand, as they are wrestling fans and have substantial female followings. Creating a partnership in which we can send them merchandise to wear and post on their social media platforms will allow us to increase our social media followers. Third is paid marketing. Unfortunately, there's only so much reach that organic content can have. Using paid marketing, we can create target marketing, especially when we are traveling to particular locations where our events are being held. The fourth tactic is blog posts. Blog posts are simple and effective as they will grow our SEO reach. Creating short blog posts highlighting an upcoming event or related news will increase our reach. Last is testimonials. Testimonials are great because it provides an authentic review of our product. Since potential customers might be skeptic of our advertisement, testimonials will give a genuine review without any influence from our brand. Our campaign's key is producing a core message that will resonate with our core audiences or our audiences. Our core brand message is inspiring the past, present, and future generations of superstars. As mentioned in his mission statement, WWE looks to make storytelling that impacts lives. We want to use our campaign to help build the next generation of superstars, whether it is someone who wants to be a doctor, a teacher, a lawyer, even a WWE superstar. To help us, we will use the brand message and use the following two themes. The first is inspiration. Many of our WWE female superstars have moving, incredible stories from a character and personal standpoint. Take, for example, the EST of WWE, Bianca Belair. Bianca is about being the EST of anything, such as the strongest, fastest, toughest, smartest. Her character is an excellent source of motivation to be the BEST version of yourself. Then you have the man, Becky Lynch, a superstar who walks with a swagger like no other. She calls herself the man because she sees it as a way to show that she has taken over the company. And then you have Sasha Banks, aka the Boss, a fierce, sassy superstar who calls her shots. These are just a few of the WWE female superstars whom our female audiences can look to for inspiration. From my personal experience, WWE has provided me with a lot of inspiration growing up. In school, as a kid, I was always the shortest, smallest kid, and I always felt like my size was a disadvantage, especially with a lot of kids mocking you, making you feel like a small kid can't do anything. However, it was not until I saw the masked superstar, Rey Mysterio, that I found my source of motivation and inspiration. Rey Mysterio was the smallest guy too in WWE, but he always had the biggest fight in him. He showed me that your size is never a disadvantage and that you should always embrace it no matter the challenge. With the same inspiration I found in Rey Mysterio, I hope young children, especially girls, can find that with our female superstars. The second theme is nostalgia. We can all agree that nostalgia is a powerful tool that can take us back to different moments in our lives. Whether it's seeing an old photograph or hearing an old song or video, it can take you right back to that moment. Using nostalgia as a theme, we want to use this as a tool to bring back former fans who have not kept up with the product. An example of nostalgia in WWE is when The Rock returned in 2011. After being away from the WWE for 7 years, The Rock will return, with a lot of former fans tuning in, creating the highest drawing Raw in years. A year later, The Rock would make his in-ring return at WrestleMania 28, facing John Cena, which would be the highest, most buy rate in WWE WrestleMania history. And it still is till this day. It is just one example of how powerful nostalgia can be as a theme. Another example was at this year's WrestleMania, where WWE Hall of Famer Stone Cold Steve Austin appeared at this year's biggest show. The announcement of his appearance generated much interest. Even's return, particularly with his impromptu match, would draw 1.5 million views on a single YouTube video. He was also a big part of the reason why WWE was able to bring in $200 in revenue. I know as a fan of myself, I look forward to The Rock returning. I was a big Rock fan growing up too. And also Stone Cold Steve Austin. I mean, you could ask any WWE fan, anytime Stone Cold comes, they enjoy seeing Stone Cold coming in, raising hell, drinking some beers, and hitting a few Stone Cold stunners. For the proposed timeline, it will be a 12-month campaign beginning in April of 2023 and ending in April 2024. For this timeline, I want to focus on 4 time periods. The first is April 2023 to May 2023, which will be our preparation period. We will use this time to hire staff members and plan on our content accordingly for the upcoming campaign during this time. The next period is in June 2023, when our campaign will kick off. During this period, we want to use this to create content focusing on our first post-WrestleMania major event, Money in the Bank, held in the first week of July. After this, from July 2023 to December 2023, we will continue to create content tailored to that month's pay-per-view. Lastly, from January 2024 to April 2024, it will be WrestleMania season, in which our content will be solely WrestleMania related. This will feature WrestleMania history moments or even storylines leading up to this year's WrestleMania. To execute our communication campaign, we will request a budget of $100 million, which is 10% of our revenue. After performing analysis calculations, the total expense for the 12-month campaign will be around $72.6 million, which leaves us with $27.3 million. Here's a breakdown of the expenses. The first is paid advertisement, which makes up most of the cost. Paid advertisement consists of social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. The staff payroll includes roles such as social media managers, content creator, curators, and copywriters. Influencer marketing is for partnerships with celebrities such as Cardi B and Vanessa Hudgens. The email marketing is for MailChimp, which hosts our emails. The SEO cost is for Google Ads, and the content marketing is for blogs and websites. Lastly, other expenses include equipment and software costs. As a note, the staff payroll is a calculation of 12 months. The paid ads and other marketing line items are based on 10 months, which begins in June 2023, and the other expenses are all a one-time cost. In conclusion, WWE is an organization that prides itself in reflecting societal changes in its products and customer loyalty. With this communication campaign, we will continue to reflect the change and diversify our current audience while regaining former fans. This campaign aims to grow our female audience and loyalty to our long-term fans and increase our television and merchandise revenue. With our fixed objectives, we will focus on female superstars, positive fan reactions, live experience, and forming partnerships. Tactics such as user-generated content, influencer, and paid marketing, blog posts, and testimonials will be used to help execute this all. To continue, our campaign messaging will be based on 2 core themes, the first being inspiration, while the other is nostalgia. The campaign will run for 12 months, beginning in April 2023 and ending in April 2024. As for the budget, we're requesting $100 million. And overall, we're confident in the success of this campaign. We believe this campaign will help WWE continue to grow as the global leader of professional wrestling and sports entertainment for generations to come. Before I open the floors to questions, I wanted to answer a few questions ahead that might come up. The first question is, why did we request for $100 million only to have $27 million left over? The reason for this $100 million budget is that we're using 10% of the revenue, which is a rule of thumb. In addition, with the fluctuating cost of advertisement, employee overtime, and other expenses, we want to build a buffer in our budget. All other remaining funds that are left over after the campaign will be returned to the company. The second question is there any risk of alienating a particular audience segment? Yes, there is the potential to alienate a particular audience segment. We understand that maybe there are fans who are not interested in women wrestling or retro content. However, we believe that the reward is greater than the risk, and that we'll be able to help grow our audience, make it diverse, and welcome inclusion. The third question is, are there any concerns with the timeline for this campaign? Our timeline is a good fit, allowing us to develop and build on it. Having a 6-month campaign would not be suffice because it takes time to see the campaign's performance. If there's only one concern from my perspective about the campaign, it will probably be from the preparation period, as some might view it 2 months to be too short of a time. However, overall, I think our timeline fits exactly what we're looking for. Hopefully, I could answer some of the questions that might have come to mind during this presentation. Otherwise, I'd like to leave the floor open to questions. If there are no more questions, I'd like to thank everyone for attending my presentation. I genuinely believe this campaign will help WWE grow to newer heights and show why WWE continues to be the worldwide leader in the professional wrestling industry. Thank you.